Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Elizabeth and I run the blog lifefromtheviolasection.com, and I share my favorite practice tips, general advice, and tech for musicians. If you hear a lot of squeaking in this video, it's because I'm on a really squeaky spot on the floor right now. But I really wanted to film in front of my record player because today I'm sharing with you some of my favorite springtime classical music, or at least music that I really like to listen to when the weather starts to get warm and I start to open the windows and I put music on my record player and I feel it just drifting out the windows and everything is beautiful and daffodils are starting to bloom and it's really, really exciting and I'm wearing a dress. So anyway, since I can't figure out a way to share music in a YouTube video without running into a million copyright problems, I thought I would go through my record collection and just show off the records of the music that I love to listen to in the spring, because it just makes me so happy to put the records on the record player while the window's open and I can hear the birds chirping outside and the flowers are growing. It makes me so happy, so why not share that with you guys? So let's take a look at my record player setup and all of that. So this is my kind of record player music area in the living room. We have all of my records down here. I did take some out, which I'll be talking about today. But this is my record player, which came from like an antique store and my dad restored and put my modern record player in there, but it connects to speakers inside. So it's still that beautiful antique record player vibe, but modern technology. Here's my record storage. It's this beautiful little cabinet shelf case that my dad built me for Christmas this year, and I love it so much. Over here on the right, well, I do have some CDs and a gazpacho. I do have some CDs, but over here on the right, I have all of my like modern and pop and contemporary records right over here on the right. That's not really what we're going to be focusing on today, since I do specialize in classical music on this channel and in my professional life, but I do love my pop records. They're so good. And the rest of these are classical music and musical theater and just kind of older things that I've acquired mostly from thrift stores and some record stores where they put the classical music records all in a bin for like $1 each. And I used to go crazy a lot. Now I don't. Now I really just save up and only buy new releases, but yeah. So I have my records set up in like a musical era timeline, basically. So I collected oldest here to newest. So I'm just gonna put these on the floor and go through them backwards. Okay, so in the spring and summer, chamber music is the best. It's just so good. Just on a summer evening, being outside and listening to chamber music and you hear the crickets and all the... Ooh, such a good time. I'm so excited for the weather to stay warm. It's like 80 degrees here in Richmond today, and it's February. Also, you can see gazpacho looking out the window. It's like 80 degrees here today. It's February 23rd. Probably not normal, probably not good, but I'm really excited that it's warm out. So yeah, so a staple for spring music is chamber music, and I love Mozart's string quartets, especially in this time of year when things are kind of delicate and just beginning to bloom. It's like the perfection of Mozart, just like delicate music that sounds perfect. Like you couldn't make it any better than that. So I personally love the B flat quartet 589. That should be the Hunt quartet, which I played in like middle school or high school, and I just love it. It's one of my favorites, and it just reminds me of a nice spring day, people going out in the morning, and I just love it. And these are nice old records, so they're like super thick, super nice. I also love just reading the backs of these records because they have like all the program notes. It's a great way to learn a little bit more about the pieces or just remind myself, since I studied music. Okay, Mozart string quartets, amazing for spring. Next, I would like to showcase some Beethoven piano concertos because they're just, I don't know, they're just magical in the springtime when the windows are open. And of course, the Emperor Concerto is iconic and great. I have this recording of Van Cliburn, Fritz Reiner, Chicago Symphony. I probably butchered those names and I should probably know who those people are, and I know I've heard of them. And I know I've listened to them too because I've listened to this record. But anyway, yeah, another nice thick record, and brings back memories of playing this in orchestra. Honestly, most of the pieces that I'm sharing today are pieces that I have played myself, either in orchestra or in chamber ensembles in school or professionally. And that's really because playing them introduces me to them and it gives me good memories with them, and especially like the time of year that I learned them in will sometimes make me want to listen to them more during that time of year. I actually learned this one in the fall and played it in the fall, but I just love the sound of Beethoven piano concertos in the spring. It's so nice. I love finding these great performances records. Ooh, for promotion only. Sale is unlawful. They could get in trouble. Anyway, this record is for promotion only, but I love finding these great performance records. Just, I don't know, there's so much great information on the back, and I just like the look of them, how it looks like a newspaper. It's very cool. So this one is really just billed as the Schumann Piano Concerto, but I bought it because of the Schumann Piano Quintet, which I love. I did play this one too, and there's something about chamber music in the spring and summer with the windows open and the music just flowing out and hearing the birds in the background. I'm probably gonna say that a million times in this video, but I really, really love this one. One recording that I do love to listen to of the Schumann Piano Quintet is actually with Leonard Bernstein on the piano. It's a really, really good one. Next, as the flowers are blooming, we of course need some Impressionism. Of course. So I love to listen to Prelude to the Afternoon of a Faun by Debussy. The beautiful flute solo and just everything sounding not quite lazy, but like hazy. Hazy and just ethereal is so good for springtime when all of the colors are coming out. And if I take my glasses off and look outside, it looks like an Impressionist painting. So it's good to listen to the music. And this one was recorded by the New York Philharmonic with Leonard Bernstein conducting. Has all this great information on the back. I love it so much. I wish they had these things on Spotify and Apple Music so that when you go to put one of these pieces on, you could just read all of the program notes like you used to. If you put the record on your board and you just read all that. Again, super great quality record. It's super shiny too. It just looks good, you know? And this is another Debussy. This one has more pieces on it. I grabbed it because it's just so beautiful, and it does have, there's Barbra Streisand. Okay. It does have a lot of program notes in it. This one is Eugene Ormandy and Ormandy. I've only ever read his name. I've never said it out loud. And this is called the Debussy album with the Philadelphia Orchestra. I love the Philadelphia Orchestra. I think they're one of the best in the States, personally. And yeah, more Debussy, Impressionism, haziness, just beautiful sounds when the weather is getting warmer. And to marry together my two favorite themes of Impressionism and chamber music, I have one of my very favorite albums of all time, and I'm so happy that I have it on vinyl because I usually just stream it, but then I got it on vinyl. So this is Debussy's String Quartet in G minor and Ravel's String Quartet in F. I believe it's major, but it doesn't say. And this is the Juilliard String Quartet. I just simply love this album, and I feel like the Debussy Quartet is more winter time for me. I'd rather listen to that when it's colder out and more cozy in a sweater, but Ravel, that second movement, so good in the springtime when things are just blooming again. Next, we're going to talk about one of my very favorite chamber pieces of all time, and of course it's because I'm a violist, so you can probably guess what it is. Dvorak String Quartet, the American Quartet. So good, and I especially love it more now after the, I think, third movement, the one that really sounds like a dance, was used in the newer adaptation of Little Women from, I think, 2019, and oh, it just makes me so happy listening to it. Look at this shiny record. Just so nice. The jacket is totally broken though. but I probably got it for like $1, and it plays amazingly. On the back side of this, it does have Bourdon String Quartet in D. The Nocturne is, of course, one of my very, very favorite pieces, and it's beautiful during a sunset when it's getting dark at night, and I could listen to the Nocturne on loop for my whole life, and it would be amazing. Again, lots and lots of program notes on the back, which I just love. So cool. Next, I have this beautiful album by Heifetz. And on one side, he performs the Korngold Violin Concerto, and the other side is Lalo's Symphony Espagnole. So Korngold is very, very nice in the springtime, that kind of movie music sound. Did you know that Korngold was not taken seriously during his lifetime because he wrote music for movies, and that was deemed not serious enough to be a composer? So there you go. Also a great quality record, nice and thick, and it plays beautifully. Next up we have the Elgar Cello Concerto. This one is performed by Julian Lloyd Webber. Is he Andrew Lloyd Webber's son? I'm sure I'm gonna Google that when I'm editing, and I'm just gonna put the answer here, but there you go, now you know. I love the Elgar Cello Concerto. I'd love to learn it on viola, but I don't have the patience to do that right now, so instead I'll just listen to it, and it's just beautiful. And then this one has program notes in English, German, and French. Next up we have a fun one, Rachmaninoff's Symphonic Dances. So fun. It also has vocalese for orchestra, which is just one of my favorite melodies. So beautiful. I don't know if I feel like I did listen to this once. This was a newer purchase, and this is performed by the Dallas Symphony Orchestra, which I've heard makes really great recordings, but I never hear of them. I don't know. Anyone have any thoughts on the Dallas Symphony Orchestra? Let me know. Then we have one of my very favorite pieces ever, written by Ravel, Le Tombeau de Couperin. One of my very favorites. I love that oboe and English horn solo in the beginning of the first movement. So beautiful. I can listen to this any time of year. When I was in college, we performed it, and then after that I would listen to this piece, both the original piano version and the orchestrated version, just while I was trying to relax and while I was going to sleep. So always a good time to listen to this. This one also has lots of great program notes on the back about both Ravel and the conductor von Karajan. So another great one. Also has Rhapsody Espagnole on it and a couple others, but really I just listen to Le Tombeau de Couperin and I loop it. That's it. All right, last one for today. I love this record because it is performed by the composer, and that is George Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue. I used to listen to a version that I found on YouTube that said it was like the original piano roll, so it was George Gershwin performing it, and I also used to listen to like the original orchestrated version, like when it was just, when it was just arranged for jazz band. I really liked that version too. Oh wait. This one is what I'm talking about, actually. This one is the original version, the legendary 1925 piano roll accompanied by the Columbia Jazz Band. And on the other side is An American in Paris, which is also just so good. Just imagining a city like waking up after all the snow and just bustling and blooming again. It's so nice. Yeah. So those are my springtime records that I'm going to be playing on loop as I twirl around in my dresses and I want to go to tea parties and stuff. So yeah, I hope you liked this little dive into some of my record collection. I have much more, but I really just chose the things that I really like to listen to in the spring. If you have any thoughts or any history that I didn't talk about any of the pieces mentioned today, please let me know down in the comments, because I love music history and I love talking about the stories, about composers, and behind some of my favorite pieces by them. So please share anything you want in the comments and I will be happy. Yeah, so more tech videos to come soon, but today I'm just excited for spring. So if you enjoyed this video, please like it and consider subscribing to my channel. I post new musical videos every Sunday at noon Eastern time. Thank you for watching.